I'm crushing the socials, rushing through Ukraine, touching the locals. Quasi-Kodo, touching the coastals. Ethiopia, touching the opals. And Red Pillar. I'm crushing the socials, rushing through Ukraine, touching the locals. Quasi-Kodo, touching the coastals. Ethiopia, touching the opals. And quasi-nobles, kissing the ring. You niggas is Google, I'm ChatGPT mixed with a Bing. Lift every voice without lifting a thing. The baby was born with the gift of sing. I'm the last Elon, straight out of Pelon. I'm victory lapping, watching history happen, mystery cracking. It's the elitists attacking the fetus. They packing the seats up, cracking like C4C. They say it won't happen again, like yeah, getting back with Adidas. See back with the heaters, back in the sweepers, all black like a back of fajitas. Used to get stacks for the features, now niggas they pay us with straps on the back of their sneakers just to come stack with the teachers. We made them a promise and made us some comments. They paid us some homage. We married the game and they gave us Madonna. No maiden, no honor. Rebuking the priesthood like Sinead O'Connor. If I take the breath, God gave you to breathe. And remove the air from the wind and the breeze. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. That engine is lead. Train the blood you got in you that bleeds. Chop the tree of knowledge down and pick up the leaves. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. That engine is lead. As I mumble on Pro Tools. Spaceship I could hover and cloak to. I abducted and probe you. Fly till I got the tongue of a toad too. On the rumble with Goku. It wasn't even close. I thought somebody told you. I'd be munching on gold shroom till I grow you. Like I jumped on a toadstool. Mirror, mirror on the wall. I'm hearing I'm the Ferris of them all. I clearly am a pharaoh and a god. There is no comparing me to y'all. Repeat a mantra manifesting wealth. So me and all my family have held. Destroy the world and build it back better. My mind, I build a planet by myself. Unbelievable. I'm achieving the unachievable. I'm conceiving the unconceivable. All the demons that summon speak Hebrew. We play peekaboo. Unpredictable. Unexplainable. Inexplicable. Undefinable. Undescriptable. Underrated. Unequivocal. Unforgivable. Feeling like I become invisible. Underground like the mud and mineral. Industry is so fucking pitiful. Only signing the thugs and criminal. Honestly, I would love to kill a few. Treat around like a blood and crip would do. Get in school, I would punch the principal. Treat the system like what would Hitler do. If I take the breath God gave you to breathe. And remove the air from the wind and the breeze. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. That engine is lead. Train the blood you got in you that bleeds. Chop the tree of knowledge down and pick up the leaves. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. That engine is lead.
Dodge in the rainstorms gotta be chained on, frozen like brain freeze. Golden like 18, swollen like 18. From the borough where they take cream. Shit, we throw in the mainstreams. Leave a nigga sniffing in steak greens. Look, you're sweeter than pastries, cheaping on lace squeeze. Got a nigga face ski. Say cheese, had to rub it in like rapeseed. Pillar bleed blue like Grape Street. Spitting over rape beats, slipping off her waist beats. I got the gas, baked beans. God is a nap that can make memes. God in an app, make cream. I got it in the bag, rake leaves. I did dirt since my late teens. Now it's a must if we stay clean. Established trust, stay cream. Added up with no late fees. Mad as fuck when you waste cream. It's adding up through the late fees. Mars attack, that's a space beat. Mars attack like a hate speech. Mars intact like we make drinks. Mars is back like a lace string. Look, roll up some trees, we can pour up some tea. Flow like a seed and you know that it's me. Pablo appearing on Holy Ghost 3. Though it's a beat, we go bon appetit. A home of a beast on the road, I'm a freak. You don't flow, we don't speak, that's the code of the street.
If I take the breath, God give you to breathe. And remove the air from the wind and the breeze. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. That engine is lead. Train the blood you got in you that bleeds. Chop the tree of knowledge down and pick up the leaves. Superman to turn to Christopher Reeve. That engine is lead.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, and yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let me know how I sound on the audio. Let me know how I sound on the audio. Mm-hmm. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. How do I sound on the audio? Sound clear? All right, I want to do one thing. I want to do an A and B test. Let's see something. All right, this is the audio with the mic on, right? This is the audio with it on. Turn it off. Let me know Which one sounds better? This is it on. This is the other microphone. Do you see a difference? And does this sound better? Let me know. A or B? The second? Okay. Okay. So we go. Oh, big difference. Okay. Well, here we go. We rocking out. This is the one that y'all said sounds better. So we're good. All right. Welcome to Melanin Monday. Welcome to Melanin Monday. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your brother Red Pill in the building. In the building. You know what I'm talking about? And we here. We in the building. We happy to be here. Salute to everybody that is with us tonight. Little late night show. Around like how we always do around this time. Next Melanin Monday, we will be doing in real life IRL. I space it out every 2 weeks. I've been doing that since the beginning of the new year, primarily because Atlanta or the ATL, they don't like the cold weather, and it's been very cold ever since the winter began. It's been abnormally cold out here, to be honest with you. So we spread it out to give people the opportunity to just, but when the spring and the summertime comes, we may just do it rapid fire. We may just do every Monday. Who knows? I'm going to take a vote and I'll see if that's something that everybody is with, because the best thing you could do these days is just be very diplomatic and practice governance. Let people vote. I can't. You would think that you would know things. I don't know that. I don't know anything. I would have to vote. Like code. I will send you the replay. Okay. For everybody who was in the building yesterday, I just want to give y'all a shout out. Shout out to everybody that pulled up and made yesterday a movie. You feel me? Check this out. How to build a digital twin, the AI clone, in one day, step by step. In one day, step by step, right? How to build your digital clone in one day, step by step. You feel me? Very, very powerful demonstration yesterday. I must say I have to do more of these. It was so unanimous that we got to do more of these, that we automatically jumped right into the quote unquote. We're doing the workshop next Sunday. We're not even waiting. Like, hold on, let me pull it up. People was like, they need to learn about this. So we are starting next Sunday a 4-week workshop, right? When we do classes, we're like teaching you, and we would think, sometimes we do quiz and tests, but we encourage you to take notes. It's basically like being in a college course. When we do workshops, though, that's when you're encouraged to be a little hands-on and to actualize, what it is that you're doing. You know what I mean? That's what the workshop is for. So 4-week workshop. I have a team now of some hitters, you know what I'm saying? And I'm growing my team. I'm gonna have more people coming on board as we move along. We're just vetting a lot of people to make sure they are qualified. Just can't let anybody on the stage, correct? So I got 2 brothers. I got a brother named Don, right? Crypto Don. And we got Spin City Digital. And these brothers, they blew it up yesterday. If anybody was in the building who was there with us last night, can you give me a little cosign with the with the flame emoji. You know what I mean? With the flame emoji. With the flame emoji. OG. Yeah. It was lit. I must say, it was lit. Give me 1 minute, y'all. As a matter of fact, while I pull something up, go ahead and play a little clip from there.
Scale what you want to do and use that same prompt engineering to execute the task you want to do. And I took matters into my own hand to use the AI and the prompt engineering to scale my own businesses. And now the brother actually unlocked a new channel that I could do the same thing and offer a service on Fiverr. Or I can go to Upwork and say, hey, you want a faceless AI commercial? Let's get it. Cut the check. And then we're gonna run the ads. We're gonna target the demographic, the top 10% of income. Yep, cut the check.
All day, cut the
Cut the check.
Just sit back and just mix it up. You know what I mean? Mix up the elixir and send out your clone to work. You sending out your migrant worker.
Exactly.
Because theoretically, that's really what you have your mic. You sending out your AI agent or your clone, as it was explained to us yesterday. You could send a complete copy of you, right, with your data set, right? So it basically has your brains, if you could fathom what that means. It has your knowledge base, right? It has your knowledge base. So this is something that is going to revolutionize. It's going to change everything. It is going to disrupt a lot of businesses. And, rather than be disrupted, I take the route of disruptor. I would rather take the route of the disruptor rather than be disrupted. So that's what we're doing. We're learning about how to become the best disruptors. Really, really diving in and going super deep into this AI empire or this digital empire that we're building. But before I even jump ahead of myself, I can't wait till when this is over, I'm gonna go ahead and start the cloning process and get some things going. So young Red Pill and Rich Pill and Red Pillar could all be working simultaneously. Because that's all three entities or three brands and whatnot. So now for the people with multiple personalities, and they said that you're bipolar or you have all of these imaginary friends and whatnot. Now that's no longer a hindrance. That's no longer something to make fun of people. Remember, we were living in a world where people were saying that they're trans babies. Wasn't they? They were saying that they were trans this, trans that, and identify with me as this, identify me as that. But, as a result of that, as a result of society conforming to the fact that people were like, they could call themselves anything that they want. You have to identify them as what they see themselves as. Well, that was the precursor to this new world that we're in, where because of AI and virtual and augmented reality, you really are going to have a hard distinction between what's real and what is not real, right? The lines, I feel, have been blurred and will continue to be blurred. So awareness, discernment is very, very instrumental at this point, because you don't know if you could believe anything that you see on the TV or the internet at this point. Not to say that you could believe it before, but definitely at this point. And it's going beyond just what you could see behind the screen. They've done it to where you cannot really necessarily be 100% sure that what you're seeing with your very own eyes is accurate. You don't even know if your eyes are going to be lying to you, because they may be fooled and tricked. All it takes is to put on one of these right here. That's all it takes is to put on a virtual headset and you'll understand what I'm talking about, right? And this is nothing spooky about it. There's nothing to be afraid of and whatnot. But it will show you that if this, it's not that hard to make a simulation out of your surroundings. Like you put this thing on, you in a whole new world. And you know that you know that your physical body is in one world, but you literally feel like you've been transported or teleported to another reality. How, Sway, how does that work? How is your brain being tricked into thinking, and you know that you just left this world, but literally your subconsciousness or something in your mind is telling you, well, it's your stimuli, it's the environment that's changed. It can affect your senses. That's all I'm saying. So be very mindful, but beyond anything, learn how to yield and how to wield whatever weapons are being introduced, whatever machines, whatever technology, whatever you want to call it, right? Because it has many different names. Um, this potentially could be a weapon. This potentially could be a weapon, right? I could weaponize a camera. I could weaponize this technology easily, right? Um, I could weaponize the VR thing. I really could if I wanted to. If I sat around with a sinister mind, I probably could do that. However, that's not where my mind is at. And I can't speak for nobody. And you can't get caught in the world of speculation. Speculation is like quicksand. They will have you sinking in the endless world of forget about speculation. I don't have nothing to do with you. Don't let nobody trick you into speculation. It don't got nothing to do with you. You understand? Nothing whatsoever. Either it is or it's not. So when people speculate to say about what something might do, and you know what you're doing with it, and that's not what you're doing, you shouldn't even listen. Like it has nothing to do with you. It's sorcery. It's speculation. It's not real. It's next to false expectations appearing real, or whatever the hell that whatever fear's acronym is. You know how much fear the average person is in on a daily basis, and 9,000 things that they're thinking about that they're in fear of never even come to pass. So we got to be very mindful of that. Very, very mindful of that. So a lot of information has been coming out around the situation with this quote unquote P. Diddy lawsuit, right? This P. Diddy lawsuit that just dropped last week has opened up a few can of worms, y'all. It has sparked conversations, you know, on a global scale. You know what I mean? And if there's one thing that I could say is that the internet detectives, the pet detectives, or what they call the internet sleuths, oh, they at work. Oh, nah, they at work. They working. They are working, bro. Let me explain to you. They are twerking. They get into it. And they're making a lot of videos on Instagram and on TikTok where they're drawing a lot of comparisons to, they're digging into the 73-page report, and they're extracting breadcrumbs, and they're extracting bullet points, and they're extracting some very interesting news. One of the most interesting extractions, and there are many, mind you, okay? There are many. But one of the most interesting extractions that was made, that was brought to my awareness and a few other people's awareness, was the fact that P. Diddy's bodyguard, right? His bodyguard, and we're not talking about Gene Deal. We're not talking about the individual by the name of Gene Deal, right? Not that bodyguard. There was a bodyguard who is a Muslim, okay? And this Muslim bodyguard was also the same bodyguard of Michael Jackson when his untimely demise took place under very suspicious circumstances, right? It was deemed to be an overdose. It was deemed to be an overdose. And it was said that this bodyguard was the second person to see Michael Jackson before he was pronounced dead, right? At 24, I believe his name is Fahim Muhammad. Fahim Muhammad, who later on becomes the detail to P. Diddy. Now, there's a name that's not being mentioned. I don't know if that name is in the paperwork, right? But I could bet any amount of money that Clarence Avant's name will show up very soon. Okay. There are names that are redacted in the lawsuit that they're not necessarily letting go for the public. But there's a lot of speculation with a lot of powerful people who knew what was going on behind, their client, because they're talking about the top brass at Diego. They're talking about the top brass at Universal. They're talking about the top brass and a few other ventures that this man was tied in and whatnot. And they're in the lawsuit, they're accusing the top brass or the upper management in participating in hedonism and heathenism with the likes of P. Diddy, right? So what is interesting about the P. Diddy thing, right, is that nobody's drawing a comparison to Vince McMahon. And I find that rather odd, right? No one is tying the comparison to Vince McMahon. And I find that rather odd because Vince McMahon's lawsuit is another one of those lawsuits that I couldn't get through the whole lawsuit. I had to literally, I fed it to the GPT and the GPT was like, nah, this is too much. I couldn't really even get the bullet points on it. I had to go to another website and let them break it down because I just don't like to dive that deep because they, this is a real dark world that these individuals have created and whatnot. And when you read these reports, it's literally like walking in somebody's room with the lights off, and you got a flashlight, and you basically are flashing a light on all of the shit that they're doing in the dark. You dig? Some things you can't unsee. So the Vince McMahon thing is a complete. It's a it's in direct correlation. I feel that it is almost a twin lawsuit, but similar, but similar with P. Diddy is the same similarities that we saw with Bill Cosby and R. Kelly when Harry Weinstein was under fire, the same time that Bill Cosby was under fire, but you only was hearing about this demon, this heinous monster, this beast called Bill Cosby, right? You wasn't hearing about Harvey and the shit that he was into and the multitudes of his victims. they were basically blanketing our people with this brush of guilt and shame and making them the face of Me Too when there was a real monster who had more power than Bill Cosby at that time and now. And his name was Harvey Weinstein, and his hands are extremely dirty, but his hands were the furthest reaching hands in Hollywood. He was one of the most powerful people, one of the most powerful people, right? In structure, right? So when they say that this P. Diddy shit is like Jeffrey Epstein, it definitely is, because what is being alleged is there is what? There's a pattern. There's a pattern of espionage, and there's a pattern of blackmail that you see taking place in the quote unquote, not just in the music industry, but it's taking place all around these entertainment industries. And what that is blackmail, sexual blackmail, right? Because I've said it before and I don't have a problem saying it again, that your sexual proclivities is what will basically put you in a place of being compromised. If you have sexual proclivities that you will feel ashamed that the world knew about, then you will be compromised if you're quote unquote, if somebody who is on the other side of the chessboard, if they want to blackmail you, if they want to extort you, or if they want to control you. So if people know in your gang or in your corporate quote unquote body, or any, if they know that you have a sexual proclivity, right, that is considered taboo, and you would feel shamed about, you're the weak link. You are the weak link, and you got to get either knocked off, or you got to get moved out of the way, or you have to get dropped, because you the weak link that the enemy could come through, or Cypher could basically come through and destroy the matrix. You if you have a proclivity or a kink or something that you are ashamed of and you have to sneak, the majority of people do have that. And because we live in a society that is ran by the quote unquote Vatican and the crown and whatnot, is mad upside down. So they have people feeling ashamed for natural impulses and natural reflexes, or the simple fact that they get, urges. So they're taught that they're living in sin, and they become shameful and they suppress. And when you suppress sexual energy and you don't know what ascended and whatnot, it literally could do more damage than if you just let that shit out. It literally could do more damage. So the proclivities of J. Edgar Hoover, who was the director of the FBI, is one of the reasons why sexual espionage and blackmail basically began to take over American politics. This man was a cross-dresser, J. Edgar Hoover. He was a flamer, J. Edgar Hoover, but he happened to be a very powerful man in law enforcement. He was the director of the for FBI, and the people who were blackmailing him were the mob, right? Meyer Lansky, to be exact, the Jewish mob. And he was being blackmailed. And what he wound up doing is blackmailing other cross dressing, quote unquote, politicians. And he basically set cameras up, and he caught them on videotape, and he caught them on audio tape. And they were able to leverage all of that blackmail to get into seats of power. And you know who is the main people behind the espionage and the blackmail game? The number one in the world, better than 007? Haha, you guessed it. Yeah, them boys from Tel Aviv. That's who it is, right? The small hats. This is what they do. So P. Diddy was using the quote unquote playbook that Jeff Epstein used, and Christine Max Seal and whatnot. They were using the same playbook more than likely he learned it from your boy Clive Davis, who is also an agent. He's an operative. So when you're an operative, yeah, you can have $1 billion. You could be a business owner. You could be all kind of things. You could be a goddamn player, or whatever. But you're still an operative. You still work. You have your duplicitous. You have a pledge allegiance to somebody else. So P. Diddy, your man's in them, was utilizing exploitation and blackmail to do what? To destroy the music industry. Because that's all I'm getting out of this whole story with this nigga that he's the one that killed hip hop. Facts. It was him single-handedly. And I don't mean to throw so much on one man, but when I really think, when I read this report and I'm looking at what's going on, son is his hands have not touched anything that was beneficial. Everything that he literally touched, because he's been touched by that Keebler elf, that demon, J. Edgar. You understand? Who spirit cooked him, who broke him, who took his soul and whatnot, who put that man on demon time. And probably that city college was a sacrifice to feed these demonic Khazars who are, look at me talking crazy on YouTube. These demonic folks who run the music industry. They run the entertainment industry. Peter Gation from the Tunnel, the one-eyed man. He ran the Tunnel. He was from there. The one who opened up, who brought ecstasy and all of these chemical drugs with the party scene at the Limelight and the Tunnel. Peter Gation, right? He had an eye patch. He had one eye and whatnot. He was the gangster. He was before Liar Cohen was running around acting gangster. Peter Gation was the gangster in New York, the Jewish gangster who was really, tied in to the Mossad. He was tied into all of them hitters, because what they don't tell us, and what I had to find out by going into the books and whatnot, is that there's a mob out there who, they don't make movies about them. They don't talk about them. They're inconspicuous. They are the proverbial Kaiser Soze's. You don't know that they exist, but they'll knock your head off inside of Hollywood, because they built Hollywood. Hollywood is like a catacomb. It has so many bodies that got built on top of it. They went there and committed a lot of murders. These are mobsters, but not the Italian mobsters, in the sense that you were sold mobsters through what? Through the controlled media. Who controls it? The same people who have this mafia. This mafia is more like the Nazis than anything else. You know? They more like Nazis than anything else. So your man, P. Diddy, by way of Clive Davis and Uptown Records, was compromised by the hands of Clive Davis, because the hands are dirty, right? Because he was already on a mission to destroy black music before Uptown. He was already on a mission, because he was the one that took out the Philadelphia sound, Stax Records, and that was Clive Davis's dirty work. That was his hands and whatnot. He infiltrated black music. So it's only right that he's the man behind the bad boy era. But the bad boy era is not just a regular era. The bad boy era was the great reset. It reset the quote unquote value system, the standards, just the code in hip hop. The overall code in hip hop got reset by the bad boy sound, or P. Diddy, or what they call the tunnel era, or what they call the shiny suit theory. That was ushered in primarily, but not only by, there was a team of these zesty niggas. It was a bunch of sassy niggas and sassons. Team Zesty, y'all. Team Zesty. Shout out to Domaine Dupree, Dallas Austin. Shout out to what's his name? Babyface and whatnot, Love Face. Shout out to LA Reid and whatnot. Shout out to all these niggas that wear Ashcrots. Ashcot. No disrespect to the Ashcots, but the way that they wear it is different. Shout out to these niggas that wear Stan Smiths with no socks and high waters, Russell Simmons and y'all. You know what I'm saying? And believe you me, it was the Zesty Avengers, y'all. They was outside for real, for real. You know what I'm talking about? Fab Five Freddy, you know, niggas that meet at, you know, what coffee shops and they drink tea with the pinky up. These are the ones. These are the ones. Once again, what does highbrow society do? It absorbs you. You're not gonna go into highbrow or white Anglo-Saxon Protestant society. Highbrow society, that's the society that these people are enamored by. Oh my goodness, it's the Sistine Chapel on the ceiling. Oh my goodness, high art. You know, all of that shit that these dudes, you know, are excited about. You know what I mean? It really don't mean anything. It's you know, all of that shit. Those guys, they were part of the agenda. When they say that somebody sells out, selling out, unfortunately, and I don't mean to be graphic or anything, but selling out simply means that you can't hold it down as a man. That in the industry, selling out or being quote unquote taken advantage of, you know what I mean? And sell and you're down with the movement. That just means that, you know, niggas cornered you, bro. And you didn't get jumped in, you got humped in. That part. So that's what the Illuminati is in the industry. And it starts there, and it's a slippery slope that gets into a lot of darker things because, you know, imagine what Jay Electronica saw married to a Rothschild. Imagine what Rihanna and them saw when they was, or Janet Jackson when they was with these oil dudes and these princes and these billionaires, and you know, and it's just it's a different world with them. It's nothing, you know. Yeah, you know, it's a different world in the hood because people that try to act pretentious, like the heinous shit that they do on a yacht is more heinous than what they're doing in the basement of the projects, in the washing room or whatnot, on the roof. It's all fuckery at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's all fuckery. It's just in different stories at different heights. But it's all fire bun at the end of the day. So when I say that he single-handedly destroyed hip hop, what I mean is this. There's 5 pillars of hip hop. The hip hop is a culture. The bad boy, all about the Benjamins, this era, it didn't necessarily focus on the cultural aesthetics of hip hop, right? It didn't focus on the cultural aspects of it, even though he's a dancer, right? Even though he has a clothing line. This is P. Diddy I'm talking about. Even though he began to pick up the microphone after, you know, being a producer or a ghost producer, but the hip hop.inc, when it got real gloss, when it got real colorful and technicolor, and the budgets exceeded the millions and whatnot, that part of hip hop, that was the unraveling. That's the selling out of it. That's the corporate takeover of it. And there's some people, when it's being taken over, apparently there are some culprits who are assisting in the quote unquote pillaging and the taking over of said culture. Similar people who stand back while America got taken over and pillaged and whatnot, while America was compromised during the situation where these artists were telling people that they should go ahead and acquiesce because it was a form of acquiescing. It wasn't something that we all meditated on to bring about. Everybody was apprehensive because their subtle bodies, that voice in their head said to them, mm-mm, mm-mm, no, no, no. Did you remember they said that we are at war with the quote unquote unseen enemy? I'm trying to explain. We are in a post-world society right now. A real war took place. They in the history books is going to show that there was a real war in 2020. They just not really focusing on it like that now, because why would they? But in this post-world war society that we live in, where there's the largest wealth transfer taking place before our very own eyes, where they are restructuring the financial system, and they're rewiring the quote unquote business corporate world to be automated and autonomous. Like I said, as you're in, you don't know that you're in the soup when you're in the soup. But I promise you, 10 years from now, when you read back on this shit, they'll be like in the post World War. Shout out to Jefferson. In the post World War, the world leaders came together and they adapted cryptocurrency, they adopted the blockchain. They adopted all of these things because they read the research that during the lockdown, these were some of the viable options and solutions. You know, they're going to spin the story to do what? What they always do, make themselves bigger than what they really are. They just rewrite the fucking script and put themselves in a movie, right? To make themselves look bigger than what you saw Dr. Dre do it with the NWA movie. You know, that's what happened. You saw Dr. Dre do it in the NWA movie. So if the artists are compromised, then the listeners are compromised, right? If the architect is compromised, then everything under the architect is compromised. If the heart of the architect, he's the architect. Jay-Z is not the architect, right? Jay-Z could be considered the Black Godfather, who could be a replacement for Clarence Avant, right? However, the architect is he who came before Jay-Z, and that would be P. Diddy. So he's the architect. It's not Cash Money Baby Williams. It's not a white man. It's not a woman, right? It's not homie and them from Quality Control. I mean, people could pull names. Yeah. I mean, throw a name out there if you think that there's some other architects in this culture right now, and I will easily show you. Nobody can't come. It can't be anybody that came after him. It can't be anybody that came after him, because when he was on the scene, he was architecting shit. He was putting things together. He's behind the sound of Jodeci and fucking Mary J. Blige wearing Timbs and a Yankee hat doing R&B, bro. Like, that's his sound. He came up with that. He had them niggas with the rain suits and with nothing under it with the Timbs on, doing R&B to hip hop. That's his sound. So give me a name of anybody who was consistent, and because you can't be an architect and be hidden and whatnot. He was an architect molding shit in front of your face. Nah, we're gonna do metrosexual now. We metrosexual. You know what I mean? And niggas was like, all right, we metrosexual then. Ha! Get your eyebrow shaped up. So you got to give me a name. You got to give me a name. You would say that was Pharrell. Came after Diddy. That's one of his children. Came after Diddy, right? He's tied into R. Kelly. He's tied into what's his name? Teddy Riley, New Jack Swing, right? P. Diddy comes along and he takes the New Jack Swing and he creates his sound with it. You understand? And then you stop hearing about Teddy Riley, right? R. Kells didn't do a goddamn thing. What are you talking about? R. Kelly. Jermaine Dupri ain't do a goddamn thing. He don't come before P. Diddy with that sound. That nobody, no, he wasn't. JD was with Crisscross and Escape, my nigga. What are you talking about? And the Brat. He wasn't molding anything. He wasn't molding anything. Niggas around my way was not wearing their clothes backwards. That's not what they were doing. When he came, when Puffy and them came along, what we started doing was buying bottles. We was fucking with rich shorties. We was chasing cougars, nigga. You talking about? We was chasing cougars, nigga. We was trying to be like P. Diddy and them, nigga. What do you mean? We was wearing $1,000 shirts. Nobody never thought about that before. Chris Stokes. Come on, fam. What are you talking about? Premier. Are you just reaching? Like, he's not an architect, he's a fucking DJ. What are you talking about? He don't got no power like that. The hell? Y'all looking for shadow bosses. No, nigga. He was in the front. He was outside. He was like, it's fucking me. It wasn't nobody. There's no speculation when it comes to what the fuck was going on. He was letting you know he's in the front. The only person that had their hand up his back was Clive Davis. So he was the boy toy with the white billionaire zaddy that no nigga could tell anything to. And if you got out of line, get you whacked. He'll get you knocked off because he had the hitters. You understand? He had the hitters, and he was blackmailing mad niggas and whatnot because he had everybody coming to his parties, and after his parties, they would be drunk on the motherfucking Ciroc that he put drugs in. They were spiking the motherfucking punch. They were spiking the Ciroc, y'all. They were spiking the Deleon. That's why nobody was drinking it. You understand? And he was taping people getting compromised, right? Because, of course, he's going to bring the Transformers to the party. He's going to bring the Transformers in. And the Transformers, after you get drugged up and whatnot, the Transformers was in there flipping niggas. And they was catching it on tape. So he'll use those tapes and he'll use that blackmail to make niggas do things that they don't want to do. That is a playbook that the Black Godfather has to run. That's the playbook that the Black Godfather has to run. I know that Chris Stokes is a piece of shit and whatever. He's not the architect, though. Chris Stokes is the one who ushered in young, zesty niggas. Yes, he did that. He brought in the sassy niggas. But they were zesty niggas before he brought these young, sassy niggas like Batman and all of them. Yeah, he brought the young, sassy niggas in because he was out there on some Nickelodeon type shit, SAing these young boys. He brought in that aspect where the young boys started getting SA'd and whatnot, and they made that a prerequisite in the industry. That's where Orlando Brown and all of them get washed up and caught up in that wave. That's the Chris Stokes wave. But prior to Chris Stokes, it was already P. Diddy. You can't give me a name of an architect. It's not even up for debate. I'm just sharing that everything has an origin. Nothing is born out of nothing. They're born out of something. And then you start seeing the characters come out of that. Understand timelines. You have to be able to understand timelines to know the story. If you're throwing names out there of people who came 10 years later, then you're missing the big picture, right? You're missing the big picture to what I'm trying to paint. Farnsworth Bentley, we already know who he was to P. Diddy. And he also brought in a certain type of motif where niggas started becoming Farnsworth Bentleys in the hood. I seen it. I seen dudes turn Farnsworth on us. These was roughneck zesties. Because there's a very thin line between zestiness and that fake hard shit anyway. You know what I mean? All that super hyper masculine, fake hard tough shit, that's zesty. That's one fucking Timberland away from zestiness. You know? Who the hell is Nile Rodgers? Somebody said he wasn't holding umbrellas. Rick Rubin bowed out. Rick Rubin ran to the West Coast. He wasn't molding anything. He's not an architect, but he's definitely a warlock, and he has a lot to do with some things and whatnot. He he's a handler. He's a handler of the highest orders, right? that Rick Rubin. He's a handler, but I'm not gonna say he wasn't the we know who the architect is. We know who the architect is. And Russell Simmons is a very big player in this whole thing. Andre Harrell and Russell Simmons, those are like grandfathers. Clarence Avant was the godfather of all of that, right? And you could look at Clarence Avant and tell he may have not been the most masculine of men. I'm not saying that he was zesty or moist and whatnot, but I'm just saying it was given BWA, bussies with attitudes. Close with Quincy Jones. He knows everybody's secrets, right? He's the fixer. He's the one that you gotta call him to fix things that you messed up when you in Hollywood. Hollywood is mob town. You cannot negotiate for your life or your whatever without going through a medium in Hollywood because it's a mob city. You might not see that on the surface, but underneath the surface, they showed you that in things like Training Day and whatnot. It's run by under four. Even the police is gang. So you got to be very careful, y'all. You got to be very careful. You understand? So when you go out there, the Black Godfather, his name was Clarence Avant. He was the liaison. He was the one who said, "All right, if your phone," they said they got a documentary on Netflix. They said if the phone rang and he was on the other line, it was like the bat phone. If he calls you and he tells you to go somewhere or do something, you got to do that. So he was the run man who the Chichi man, right? Because the mafia that's out there is it's like the Pink Panthers of the mafia. If you understand what I'm trying to explain to you, it's giving Skittles, it's giving Taste the Rainbow, it's giving sassy savages in Hollywood, y'all. Sassy savagery in Hollywood. That's what it's giving. They mad sassy. They will knock you off and then braid your hair, bro. You understand? So you gotta come and see Clarence Avant. You come to Hollywood, he gives you that call. He tells you to go to Harvey Weinstein's crib. He tells you to go to this certain crib at this address. You go in there, it's the whole border Amazon, butt naked and with wearing tutus and whatnot. And you got to entertain them niggas because the Black Godfather told you to. If you don't do it and you run like Ricky, your ass either get bodied, you get packed up and blackballed, they you get missing and they find you in the Mojave Desert, or you get your house burglarized and you get humiliated. That's some of the things that they out there doing. It's a gay mafia. You feel me? It's a gay mafia and they flipping niggas. So I say this, I never known nobody who went to LA, Hollywood, and came back tougher, right? Who came back tougher, right? Who came back, they all come back different. Not to say that they got rewired and whatnot, but they definitely come back different. I'm trying to tell you, St. Tropez is the other Epstein hub. Yes. So all them places where they walking around with these adolescents, all of them places where they walking around exploiting our people, yeah, we should send hurricanes to disrupt that activity because that's part of the iniquities that we like fire burn. That's Babylon right there. Babylon, too much of that been going on, too much hedonism, right? Okay, he's buying up all of the catalogs. Yes, man, I, I was. It's gonna make all of the sense in a minute why everybody was selling their catalog. It has everything to do with AI though. I knew it all along, but it's gonna make sense in a minute. You'll see. So the sex blackmail thing, it's very it's very disturbing. You know what I mean? it's very unsettling, and you know, but it's necessary. It's necessary for that thing to fall in order for something else to be born, because it might not be big news in America, but in India, in Africa, in the islands and whatnot, in like the Netherlands, that shit is big news, y'all. P. Diddy is like, he's like the president of hip hop. Like, he's like the president of hip hop. He's like an icon. There's people who grew up and all they seen was this man. He's like the face when you think about, because he's not hip hop, but he's rap, right? It's Rap Inc., Hip Hop Inc. They did not evoke the real hip hop. The proper persona was not evoked at none of the celebrations for the 50th year. Nobody said higher, infinite power, healing our people. They didn't invoke it. So if they didn't invoke it, then what were they paying homage to? The corporate structure. The corporate structure of hip hop for 50 years. The corporate body that's working for them, not for us. It's not working for us like that. We get fucking crumbs, peanuts, like shillings and whatnot of what hip hop has to offer. We don't get nothing from that. Got to take it back. You know, God hop this time around. We got to take that back. Zesty Mafia been around for thousands of years. They surely have. And that's not even above, that's beyond speculation. You know? We got the receipts. On March the 22nd, me and Al Kibalon, we're gonna bring the receipts. I think I might have them coming up on Thursday. We're gonna do another Thursday primer and whatnot to remind you guys that we don't play. You know what I mean? And that we some bad and shut your mouth. You know what I mean? We're gonna put something together, and we're gonna give y'all a show before the 22nd. Just to you know what I mean? Just to check a few chins and put some information out there. It's a lot to go. It's a lot of science. You know what Al-Kibalon does. He's a high scientist. I can't even fathom, how important his conversation is right now. Timing is everything. His conversation right now is one of the most needed conversations because he's the scientist who can make sense of a lot of things that we're seeing, so we don't have to be in speculation. That eclipse is coming up. It's a lot of shit going on. I saw 4 suns the other day. Like, it's some real shit taking place. On top of the AI fooling people and the AR and all of these quote unquote things. Nature Boy got life. Nature Boy got life, y'all. And I was compelled to go and do my research because I wasn't following the case and whatnot. Me and Nature Boy met before he even came on film. This was like in 2016. He came to 125th Street. It was a late night. It was like Sarnetta already left. And he came out there to meet Sarnetta, and me and the brother had a conversation. He had his children with him, 2 sons, I believe. Literally, this was before any of y'all knew who this man was. He had glasses on. He was very different back then, before he got into his character. And he said some things about Dr. Sebi. He said some things about how he carried himself. He convinced me brother needed some help. You know what I mean? Just honestly speaking, he convinced me that he didn't have it all together. And he also convinced me that there was reason to be concerned because he was part of this new batch of quote unquote teachers who are drawing outside of the line. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that they're fringe, right? They're considered to be fringe and they're drawing outside of the line, right? Cool beans. So I wasn't following the trial, but after he got life, I started going and doing my research. I was just saying, like, I was just wondering and inquisitive, like, what was this trial about? Like, what the fuck? A nigga got life. What was going on in the trial? Family. Huh. Family. Boy, oh boy. First of all, they had your boy on Court fucking TV. Do you know what Court TV is? Do you know who watches Court TV? Like, not even grandparents, great grandparents. The white people who was hosing niggas down watch Court TV. They the white people from like slavery days. That's who watch Court TV. Perry Mason and these niggas is watching Court. Boss Hogg nigga is watching Court. Honey Boo Boo and them is watching Court TV. Oh, ugly. Britney Spears is watching Court TV, nigga. Taylor Swift Papa is watching Court TV, nigga. It's like the Avengers of mayonnaise, nigga. Watch Court TV. If you on Court TV, it's over with. Take the plea. I'm not going to trial on Court TV, fam. I don't give a fuck if I didn't even do it. I'm just taking a plea. This was one of the darkest cases. This shit was crazy. When you listen to Nature Boy on YouTube, back in the days when he was doing his shenanigans, it was cringeworthy then, right? I remember his Instagram days. I would catch it. I ain't gonna lie. I went down the fucking Nature Boy rabbit hole when this nigga was in like Costa Rica before Sinetta put him on his couch. You understand? Before he got on the couch, I was aware of him because I met the nigga in Harlem before, right? And then like a year later, he pops out. When you hear this nigga in court on Court TV and they was playing the videos, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my motherfucking goodness. That's you. The cringeworthy is not even the word. I was in the corner, crawled up, like, nigga, I was balled up in the corner hiding and whatnot. Cause I was like, I don't understand what the fuck I just heard, nigga. It sound different when you in court. It sound different when you got the fucking the chaps button up. You the fake polo, the Beverly Hills chap button up, and you in there trying to look like Young Thuggington. You trying to look like Thuggalicious. It sound different in court. You know what I'm talking about? And then they brought the same niggas that was kissing his toes, and I remember seeing it. I seen them niggas they washed his feet with their lips, nigga. They gave this nigga a pedicure with their feet, with their lips, nigga. He had niggas kissing his feet, my nigga. I'm talking about bunions and everything. Bunions and everything. These same niggas was on the stand. The same niggas that was giving him a mouth pedicure. What that mouth do? Right? He was on live asking grown men what that mouth do. And these niggas was giving him an oral pedicure. Grown men, mind you. These ain't no little boys. These is grown men with fades, my nigga. These grown men with cuts in their eyebrows. These was grown men with piercings. Right? Giving this nigga feet oral on live. I understand giving a nigga oral and whatnot, his feet oral, but on live? Have you no fucking shame, nigga? Are you niggas orphans and whatnot? On live, right? On Sinetta's TV. You niggas at that point, and then you gonna go take the stand? It's over, nigga. What you doing? At that point, nigga. At that point in the game, you didn't say to yourself, I might as well just finish it. Like, I might as well try this shit all over again. How could you redeem yourself? How could you redeem yourself? These niggas was on the stand. Like, he did it. He did. Oh my god, they made a mixtape on Court TV, my nigga. I didn't even know they had a new playlist of the Carbon Nation mixtape. These niggas was up here, bars, 16 bars. Bars. They was spitting. They was spitting. They was going in. Cringe worthy. They cooked that boy. Then he got into a back and forth with the judge. So this is how I knew. This is how I knew, right? I told niggas before, when the architect falls, all of their clones fall with him. Did I not say it? Did I not say, if you clone yourself after anybody in this community, be careful? Because when them niggas fall apart, you're going to fall with them, right? And it's Polite clearly had clones. Clearly had fucking clones. We know who those clones are, and none of them are here anymore. Everybody got washed off the slate. How, Sway? Nobody has any answers for that to this day. The sound effects is coming back, by the way. I'm literally one piece away. I shit you not. I know y'all hear me say this a lot, but I'm literally one wire away from blowing this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Literally, cross your fingers. Next time you see me, I will be blowing shit up. I'll be bringing Umar back. We got some new sound effects to bring in too. Take that, take that, take that. That's one of them. That's one of them. Yeah, the bombs is coming. The bombs is coming. You know what I'm talking about? We need bomb. We need roach bombs. We need a fucking we need some goddamn this P. Diddy shit. We need some sage, some sandalwood. The hell? So it's no wonder why people are so twisted. It's no wonder why people are so compromised. It's no wonder why people have so many weird proclivities, because the people that we've been following are not right. What if I listened to my parents and didn't listen to this hip hop shit? Some of these people, the people who are in control, they're not right, and it starts from the top down. So the executives are not right. Finally, I've been telling people for years now. Lucian Grange is in a lawsuit. That's a top dog. That's a big fucking. He's bigger than Liar. He's a big dog. They got him in a lawsuit, alleging that he was participating in some unsavory activities. You feel me? We gonna cook. Just keep cooking, because Babylon is falling. The great fall is coming. You know what I mean? The great fall is coming. It's falling like dominoes. It's falling like dominoes. You feel me? It's falling like dominoes, and rightfully so. We just gonna sit back and observe and take notes and prepare for this new blue sun. That's all we could do, is prepare for this new blue sun. And while we're sitting back preparing, I'm doing my due diligence. All right. Check this out. Check out another clip from the class. All right. Check us out. You in the 4-week masterclass, the 4-week workshop. I look forward to really diving in and going super deep into this AI empire, or this digital empire that we building. But before I even jump ahead of myself, I can't wait to, when this is over, I'm gonna go ahead and start the cloning process and get some things going. So young Red Pill and Rich Pill and Red Pillar could all be working simultaneously, because that's all 3 entities or 3 brands and whatnot. So
Yeah.
now, for the people with multiple personalities, and they said that you're bipolar, or you have all of these imaginary friends and whatnot. Now that's no longer a hindrance. That's no longer something to make fun of people. Remember, we were living in a world where people were saying that they're trans babies working simultaneously, because that's all why they're so afraid of AI and why they're having Senate hearings. They're never gonna, if this is a replay from last night's How to Build a Digital AI Clone. 2 night only. 2 night only. And we're not doing it any other time. We are offering this for $44 for the replay. 2 night only. Okay? Because I need y'all to get this 4-hour lecture. The only way that you could purchase this is through the Cash App. You have to leave your email and you will get the replay. You will get the 4-hour replay, 2-night only. Take advantage of it or you're good. You know what I mean? But tonight only, we are
You ever play
offering a
spades or poker
replay
or whatever
of
in chess,
our
you know
4-hour
that your
how
opponent
to
is never
build
supposed
a
to show
digital
their hand.
clone. If anybody was in class, please let the family who wasn't in class know how lit and how informative and how applicable the information that we were giving out yesterday is. You literally could have took that class, the information, and went right to the internet and got right to got busy right away. You could have woke up today with a whole new swag, doing new things, a new income stream. But yes, today only we are offering $44.
So when you
Anybody
think they're
who wants
showing
to
their
see the
hand, they're not
replay
showing
for
their
hours.
hand. They're throwing you for a blind and whatnot. The real showing of the hand is what they did the other day with this Gemini thing, because they've been acting scared. They've been having these hearings and they've been trying to stay close open source, close open source. I promise you. Let's put regulations on it. Let's control it. Let's do this. The same thing that they were doing with crypto. The reason why they've slowed down on crypto is because the majority of the people that hold crypto look like me, you, and you from the dark web and from the Silk Road and from doing all of that crypto work back in the days. That's who the people. That's why they slowed it down and they had to knock people off and infiltrate. Same thing going on with this. Um, I
Right.
ain't going for it this time around though. We're
No,
gonna
for real.
build our own LLMs. We're gonna generate our own. The reason why they're so afraid is because finally there's a great equalizer because the truth that comes out of the AI or the truth that comes out of the LLM is considered to be globally accepted as the truth. So there's only one apparatus that is on this planet right now that can completely tell melanated people the full unadulterated truth, and that's quantum computers because they're more precise than a regular AI. The AI
All
will
right.
get us there, but it's the
I see
quantum.
you, corporate. I see you, corporate. I got you on the replay. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, indeed. So we're gonna go. Oh, we have the
To
4-hour
where is they're gonna
replay, and we want y'all to be able to tap in. Look
boom,
at what the brother's doing. He's showing you
like
Can't
how
make
boom.
my
to make a clone,
some
right?
ambient
He's
free.
also showing you how to make certain
But Leonardo, hey,
marketing.
spin. So we're gonna get that in there.
Parents, because you are absolutely
So one of the best
Uh,
things is to quote unquote see people do it step by
it could be
step.
whatever.
That's why we said how to make a
It
clone in
could.
one day. You don't have to keep coming back. We live in the quickening right now. What AI does is it helps people with their time. We don't got time to be in class for 30 days and all of this other shit. Nah, we need to learn it right now, get it out the way, and start taking that skill that we learned under our belt and monetizing it. And you could show this to your teenager or your 18-year
Users, all
old or your
right.
20-year-old, whoever. You could send it to the children in college and they will learn and they will level up because this whole class right here was the most level up that I probably have done this year or in a very long time. This shit was fire. This was fire, you know? So the brother's walking us through. He's showing us the
And the
power.
part I like the most about this is that like I'm super like I said earlier, like I'm really a visionary. So like I'll be in the lab all night. Like sometimes it could take me like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes if I want to knock something out quick. But like when I'm really like getting that creative process, I might be in the lab all night cooking up, like running through assets, trying to figure out like how can I curate it how I want it to look. And like pretend you was to do something like this and you was on Fiverr or Upwork, now you have people asking you, hey, can you make a commercial or something for me? And now you get to just do it how they want to. And you could also give them some variations.
So earlier in the program yesterday, I showed we went to Fiverr, right? And I showed everybody that on Fiverr, there's a section for AI, and people are they're soliciting their skills. That's what Fiverr is. Fiverr is where you hire yourself. I often tell people the story. 2014, I was actually looking for a job. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and work the corporate America thing, and it was like such a hard task to get hired. And then I discovered the Mac computer, and I began to hire myself through Fiverr. I mean, it was a complete shift in just overall everything. Like I completely saw everything differently because I could open up a computer and put my resume now instead of Indeed.com, I'm putting it on Fiverr.com, and I'm doing assignments and everything. But God damn it, the shit is adding up. You know what I mean? I'm making some money. So that was back in the days. Now we're here and people are using AI to make a lot of money. Okay. So you got to come and get the class and get the game and get the methods and whatnot. And you literally can open up multiple income streams right away. So I don't want to, it sells itself. You know, if you want it, you'll get it. Shout out to everybody that was in class yesterday. That was a very good feeling to see everybody pulling up, you know, at such last minute and whatnot. But we don't got too much time to waste. We're in what is known as the quantum quickening. Shit is moving like this, and we don't have time. We got work to do, you know what I'm saying? And we're not going to be able to do it alone. We got to work as a conglomerate, as a collective. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for the tickets. They've been kind of hating this YouTube thing because this is a new channel. So they've been kind of hating on whenever I be dropping links. It's like they don't like to post it, but let's try it out real quick. Let me drop it. Let me go pull it up. Let me pull it up. And for anybody that's asking, we are offering payment plans because we know that you know, we know we know what's going on out here. But we're confident enough to know that every 7 days when you pull up to a class, it's 4 classes. If you serious, each class is gonna help you get some bread. You're gonna get some bread. You're gonna get right. Okay, there go the link. Feel me? The link is in the chat right now. You are going to get right. Okay, I promise you. That is if you're trying to get right, because some people they're a little intimidated, and that's cool too. But if you young, or if you ready to make some bread and let AI do it for you, work smarter and not harder, shit, you better hurry up. This shit ain't gonna be sweet forever. It ain't gonna be sweet forever. You know what I mean? And you should thank me because I promise you, it's so sweet right now that people are not even doing nothing to talk. They're not doing classes. They're not trying to hip other people. They're just making the money. They're like, yo, chill, don't blow it up. You know what I mean? They getting what they could get and getting up out of here, and they're accumulating what they could get. So, you know, it is what it is. All of my Patreons, make sure y'all catch the town hall meeting we had today. Fire. We came about with 5 or 6 new income streams. Fire information. Please make sure y'all follow up with us so we could get you right. And I don't know. That's gonna be it. I'm not gonna be here for too long tonight. We had a good time together. Third Eye Thursdays, we will continue this conversation that we're having right now. But I definitely wanted to, you know, come through and just let me see. I wanted to come through and basically give y'all some of the skinny on some of the things that are going on right now with your mans in them. And you know, just with the conversation that they having. Yeah, we ain't gonna be able to do that right now. I was trying to do something, but yep. But yes, indeed, family. Love and light to everybody in the building. Thank you for pulling up. You know what I mean? Y'all stay dangerous and you know, stay alert, stay aware, and just know that this whole industry, and it's not to be spooky or anything, but it is falling because I think there was more bad apples or more bad practices than there may have been good.
The talent is great. We enjoy the dancing and the music and the beats and everything, but the business got to go. The business sucks. The business is compromised. The business is a leeching business. The business is a mobster, mafia type. It's not, you can't grow underneath those circumstances. It's not conducive for growth. So everything is changing before our very own eyes. Rightfully so. This is what we asked for. And we are preparing ourselves to get ourselves together. It appears that the ancestors are not playing with people who are out here hurting God's people. The brother who got life, who knows if he violated one of the messiahs when it came into his household? Who knows what he had? Who I don't know who this man hurt. I don't know what his hand is calling. I don't know what his karma is calling. What I do know is that it's appearing to be extremely spiritual as to what I'm seeing for these brothers who are falling on their swords and whatnot. And when we say falling on your swords, your phallus is taking you down. Lesson for many people to learn. Black men, lesson, right? It could, the same thing that could pull you up is the same thing that could pull you down and destroy you and sit you down and destroy your career. Let's go through the names of the people that are locked down. They're all locked down because of the mismanagement of their tool. You know, this was very spiritual when I watched the trial. I was like, what he's getting is a little bit of that good old boy car. They watched his videos. That he's in decal. And we don't have to really. They watched the videos, like I said, when they was playing them back, and I was listening, and I'm like, I could see how somebody's prosecution of a city or a state that's Christian, that doesn't conform, they made him a woke. He's a woke trope. They made an example out of that woke shit with him. This nigga was on court TV with Boss Hogg in them. With motherfucking with Dorothy Dangerous in them. Like, no, what the fuck? He was on court TV with Perry Mason and these niggas. Like with Susan Lucci in them. Like, nah, you done for when it gets to that level. Nigga, if they say take this plea bargain or go to trial and it's gonna be live on court TV, nigga, I don't care if it's for jaywalking. I'm taking the lesser charge. I'm going to work on my motherfucking my Tukey Williams shape, nigga. I'm out of here. I see you niggas when when Hidden Color 20 drops. How about that? I ain't going to try. They're gonna be playing Red Pills, those lives that Instagram done took from me that I never seen but one time. I'm gonna hear them shits for the second time in the courtroom with a prosecutor looking like Taylor Swift. Nah, I'm good, fam. Y'all can fight that fight. I'm goody. Stay out of them people court, bro. I'm telling you, you niggas wear some chastity belts. You know what I'm talking about? Stay out of them people courts. If you got to get your nuts snipped and whatnot, your freedom is everything. Stay out of them people courts, bro. Because they not playing no games. And when Trump gets in because of what Fannie did to him, stay out of them people courts, bro. They gonna bring back hanging. They gonna bring back the firing squad and chopping and quartering niggas. Like, you don't want to play around in them people's courts. You know what I'm saying? They say he converted. This nigga gonna be a sheik in about a year or two. He gonna be the full gray beard, the long shit, talking about Allah, Allah, Allah. He ain't even gonna be talking English. He goes so hard, he gonna go full Arabic on you niggas. But yeah, man. Listen, March 9th, Black Magic 363 is gonna be having a release party in Atlanta. 400 Loyola Road. Or 400. Nigga, like, you know what? I'm gonna put in some work for them 70 virgins. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Man. But it go back to what I say. He's going to be contagion in the Georgia penal system. Him and some other people, they're going to be a contagion. What does that mean? They're going to turn the whole prison system inside out. By them putting him in there for life, he's gonna convert a lot more people behind the wall than he probably would have converted outside. How about that? Think about that for a minute. And he's a very dark lord. He's very dark in his teaching. So it's underworld consciousness. It's not even OnlyFans consciousness. It's underworld consciousness, where this nigga might be teaching and have a tranny right next to him, opening up for him and whatnot. And the type of information that people teach when they're in prison, for anybody that been in prison or ain't been there, it's not love thy neighbor. That's not the level of teaching that they're doing behind the wall. It's not love thy neighbor and come home to be peaceful. That's not the type of it's going to be a very heavy-handed, stripped away, straight shooting consciousness. It's dark matter consciousness. That's what the fuck you gonna get in the fucking death row, in the lifers cell block. You getting dark matter consciousness. You know what I'm saying? That part. So with that being said, we just know that the ancestors are active. Sister Myra said that you cannot abuse this power or you're going to get caught. Nobody is going to get away, y'all. No one. I promise you, no one. It's impossible. Everything that you've done, was recorded. So the people who are out here violating, abusing their power, and destroying the messiahs or the messianic ones, yeah, you're going to pay. I don't even know why you showed up. You know what I'm talking about? You're going to pay. So with that being said, make sure y'all hit up the Cash App and get that replay. The shit is fire. I shit you not. 4+ hours of some bomb-ass information. And then we got the 4-week special. We got the 4-week class, how to build an AI digital empire. Okay, how to build an AI digital empire. This is 444. All right, it is a workshop with professionals, and we are giving you thousands of dollars worth of information. We also going to be giving you resources and tools and access to our tool shed and whatnot. So with that being said, peace, love, and light. All right, y'all stay dangerous, man. 1.